Turtle Island, made by Rumak. Long ago, there was a group of people that were known as the First Nations people. Every day, they were living on an island called Turtle Island. Their ways of life were different from present day. They lived in teepees instead of houses. They hunted for their own food instead of shopping at stores. They celebrated with powwows and used plants and herbs as sacred medicines. Instead of having designer clothes, the First Nation people created their own clothing from animal hide. The First Nation people didn't just live on the island, they lived alongside the land. One day, a big ship arrived at Turtle Island. This ship was not a First Nations ship. It was far too big. The First Nations people that were living by the sea saw a ship and decided to approach it. The First Nations people referred to the new people as newcomers.
After getting to know the newcomers, First Nations people began sharing the land, their food, and their ways of life. The newcomers brought many new things with them. The newcomers and the First Nations began trading, and the time known as the fur trade was born. As the time went on, the newcomers began to change things. Newcomers started building forts which had roads, good homes, and other buildings like churches and schools. The First Nations people began feeling like the newcomers were changing too much and taking the land for themselves.
One day, the First Nations people and the newcomers came together to make an agreement. In this agreement, the First Nations people agreed to share the land with the newcomers.
The newcomers agreed to honor special rights and privileges for the First Nations people.
The treaty was signed and celebrated with a handshake and a sharing of the pipe. Since this time, treaties have been set all over Turtle Island.
Treaty 1 was created in Manitoba in the year 1871. Between that time and the year 1910, 7 other treaties were honored throughout Manitoba. The other treaty areas in Manitoba are Treaty 2, Treaty 3, Treaty 4, Treaty 5, and adhesion to Treaty 5.
In the year 2024, people living on the land known as Manitoba agreed to honor the treaties.
As long as the sun shines, the grass grows, and the rivers flow, we are all treaty people.